Hello everyone and welcome to All Things Hadar. I would like to do an open read and just see what comes forward for us. And we're just going to see where it goes. This deck is the Beyond Lemuria deck. All right. So just whatever wants to be talked about, Most High, God, Source, Spirit, Universe, galactic energies and being. Whatever messages are for our Hadarian collective. That's too many. That's still too many. You got to break these cards up, and they got to be able to come out without being a book. Let's see. How many are there? Okay, we can do this. So we have trust your innocence. Trust your innocence. Wow. And vulnerability. Okay. I cannot speak for everyone, but for myself, how do I say this? I went through a time where my innocence really it really worked. It caused a lot. In fact, there were a lot of things even in my childhood that I remember people saying, you know, oh, you're just you playing your innocence, and oh, you're just, you're so naive, you're ridiculous, things like that. And it really had me disliking that part of me, the naivety, the innocent part of me, because I don't know, it annoyed other people for whatever reason, and at that point I was too young to realize that was about them and not about me, and clearly I had internalized stuff. Now, also as an adult, this vulnerability, I find it interesting because there's this whatever this being is, because it's really not a snake, but it's not a dragon, and I'm not sure. But it makes me feel like to me, being vulnerable and my innocence were two things that just did not work well for me. They were things that I usually ended up being in pain, being hurt, being used, being manipulated. And it took me a long time to get to a place where I could accept my innocence as a part of me. And, the trusting the innocence. Oh my goodness. I didn't even realize I didn't have the mic on. I'm very sorry. I hope you were able to hear all that. If not, I'll have to try to figure out how to do a voiceover for that part. I'm just, okay. So and again, as a collective, and this may or may not resonate with you. And if it doesn't, then it's not for you. Our innocence frequently seems to almost like I'm hearing the word downfall, that people look at it. Some of us who have struggled with our innocence look at it as a downfall. And you see how she's like, well, I don't know, right? I don't know. And I think it's because there's a lot, I feel like almost too, there's this message of like, if you can't trust the people around you, right, to appreciate your innocence and your vulnerability in a healthy way, it's not about us putting away our innocence or putting away our vulnerability. It is about us finding people who are aligned, who respect that part of us, who honor that as us, and are, don't try to change us, don't try to belittle these aspects of ourselves. But quite literally that they accept that and they don't abuse that. And if there's people in our lives or situations or environments or whatever that, you know, utilize this and use it against us, both our innocence and our vulnerability, then clearly that's not our people, that's not our environment, that's not our situation or whatever. I keep sacred the daily habits that make me feel good and allow my cells to vibrate at their highest potential. Let's get one more, please. Thank you. My thoughts lead me in the direction of healing, prosperity, connection, and grace-filled experiences. And I would say that this is when we honor who we are. And this isn't about being vulnerable in just, I'm hearing literally the phrase willy-nilly. I don't know who says willy-nilly, but, you know, I'm also, you know, with clear crystal quartz here too, again, I feel like it's about cleaning up that negative influences, negative interferences. All right. Yeah. This may be for, you know, so for some, this may be that when you begin to think about these, your innocence and your vulnerability, and do you have people in your life that it is safe to be vulnerable, to be your innocent self, to be able to trust your innocence to help you to move through life? And I say that because I feel like, you know, in a person's innocence, if something doesn't feel good or feel right, then we would move, okay, this isn't aligned for me. Now that is different than, and it is a different feeling than, you know, well, this is hard and man, it's uncomfortable, right? That's just, it's different. But it does feel like that it could create some tower moments in the sense of when we begin to honor who we are and trust what we are and allow ourselves to be vulnerable, but only with those who again, that honor that and that are healthy, right? And being vulnerable isn't about giving up control of the self. But this gives an opportunity, though, to rebuild our foundations. And when we change anything in ourselves, big or small, there are going to be things that fall away because they're no longer aligned, which may not always feel great, but they are things that happen for our highest good, right? So that we can grow and expand beyond where we are in that current moment to a new moment, a new alignment, a new balance, a new place to be. Express your creativity, delight in the mystery of your inner muse, your innocence, your inner muse, creativity. Where are we going? What are you wanting me to pull? Okay. Oh. All right, hold on. I gotta reach over here. Okay. This may seem like a really weird way to do a reading. I don't know. I'm just kind of going with the flow and seeing what happens. The energy feels very different to me in this reading. Okay. Trust the timing. So trust your innocence and trust the timing. Trust your innocence and trust the timing. Trust your innocence and trust the timing. And you've got the love. It's interesting because when I see this card and in all the angles of how this person is looking, I literally heard all the faces of Eve. Oh, wow, check it out. And it says Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. Wow. That's interesting to me. So again, in our innocence, in our vulnerability, if we are around people who are preying, P-R-E-Y, preying upon our innocence and our willingness to be vulnerable, we can frequently find ourselves in these codependent relationships. But there is getting connected with yourself. Your inner muse can also, again, you know, your inner muse can be that voice of solutions and ideas that you wouldn't have thought of in one of your other capacities. Does that make sense? Again, I hear like the many faces of Eve, because again, we're multifaceted beings. And again, I keep sacred the daily habits that make me feel good and allow myself to vibrate at their highest potential. Well, if we are in codependent relationships, most likely we're not vibing very high, and we're probably not very happy. And this is interesting to me too. You know, my thoughts lead me in the direction of healing, prosperity, connection, and grace-filled experiences. I don't even remember reading that. Did I even read that? But again, there's a cleansing of the thoughts, a cleansing of beliefs, a cleansing of perceptions, to bring, you know, to release those very things that are in that codependent energy. And there may be beliefs that are being held around your innocence and around being vulnerable that, like I'm literally seeing, I don't even know what deck it's in. I'm literally seeing a deck I have, and it says extremes, and it shows the back of the head and a back and shoulders of a man, no shirt, and it's like at night. And you can see the hands of a woman, and it's like you can tell he's sweaty and it's hot. And it says extremes. And that's the card they're showing me. I don't have that deck out here. And that's the card they're showing me. So it does feel like there's extremes around beliefs that are around this. However this is speaking to you is where your beliefs are not aligned with you, with your soul, with who you really are. There's beliefs that are in the extremes. Okay. Oops, I almost dropped him. Like I'm literally, in the words of Phoebe from Friends, I feel all floopy. This energy just feels, it feels real floopy. I don't know. That's just a really good word to describe it here. Can we get deeper? Can we go farther? Independence. We have independence. And interestingly enough, with that, we have romance. They're not with it, but it's here on the bottom. Oh, look at that. Romance and ostentatious. And they are both 2s. And independence is 11. 1 and 1. 2. I feel like there's to me, this is like I feel like it's saying you can have your independence and be in a relationship when both parties are balanced and harmonious within, because then that helps us to bring in people, places, events, situations that are balanced and harmonious. So, okay. So with independence, we have discrimination, which I believe is more talking about having a discriminating criteria, discriminating tastes, meaning that you filter out that which is not healthy for you and you allow in what is healthy for you. Because it just feels like that following convention, following somebody else's idea of norm, following basically anything and everything other than your own inner self is just, it just leads to the quarreling. It can lead to the quarreling within as well as quarreling with others. It's like this face-off. I'm just seeing where are we going from here? What are you wanting me to pull next? Okay. What are you wanting to go next with this? Thank you. We have judgment. So within judgment, there is the opportunity for a new beginning. Now, with this particular deck, if you can see that, he doesn't have the horn completely up to his lips yet. Okay? It's not all the way up there. We don't see the sound lines, if you will, indicating sound is coming out yet. It's not all the way up to his lips yet. I would say that this is because in this particular case, in this reading, and in the way this comes across in this moment, is that it's saying that, so judgment to me is about a new beginning. When it's one of the other decks, which I won't look for it now, but it shows that it's already being blown and it shows the sound coming out. When it's that way, it tells me, okay, the hard part is done, and you've done the hard part, and you've done the review of the hard part, meaning not being stuck in it, not going over it and ruminating, but it's literally, okay, I see where I am now. I see where I was. I see what I've had to do to shift that. I also see what choices and decisions I made that had gotten me in that in the first place. Now, from that review, I know not to make these same choices again because they put me out of alignment with myself, and I can take that new information as I move forward. So I can, be more and more in alignment with myself in a healthy way. And then the new beginning comes. So because the trumpet's not being blown yet here, I would say, to me, it is saying maybe you are still getting to this concept. Maybe you are still working through things shifting and changing because you've decided to try to be more in tune with yourself. Maybe you have decided, I don't want to be in codependent relationships anymore. This isn't good for me. It's, whatever that is that you're dealing with, this would indicate to me that maybe you are in the process of your tower moment, or you're coming up to your tower moment. Yeah, but there is going to be a choice or a decision that needs to be made. Are you going to create change and be willing to maybe be uncomfortable for a while as you transition and you go from here to here? Are you going to catapult yourself forward to a new chapter in your life, a new season? It's everybody has free will, but you can move on and move past this and have victory. You can go from this stuck energy and break the chains that have him held here, where he broke the chains because he made a choice or decision to move on, and it gained him victory. Now, this isn't saying that it's an easy peasy piece of cake, and it's not saying that, it's done just like that, Sometimes it takes work. Sometimes it takes a lot of work. And it's helpful to be flexible in your expectations. Yeah. Okay. So we have passion. Resurrect the childhood dream and let your passion take flight. Now, for some of you, it doesn't necessarily have to be a childhood dream, or maybe this is where idealism comes in, right? Where this convention comes in. But I feel like it's more of there was this dream that you had as a young person, a child, a teen, someone in your early 20s if you're older, but you just kind of felt like it's just not going to happen, or you got sidetracked by something and now you're in this codependent relationship or codependent environment, or whatever that is. It's dysfunctional in some way, whether that is internal or outside of yourself. There's something that you could bring forward that can be very supportive for you in this process. It can be that thing that helps you work through your things. It can be that thing that gives you that passion and that zest for life again in a new way, in your independence. Because if you've been in a codependent relationship for any amount of time, The longer we're in it, the farther away our independence gets, and it makes it harder and harder for that to be gained back because we don't even recognize it half the time. So, you know, that could be, okay, and now we have the Empress. So divine feminine energy doesn't matter if you're male or female. We all have both energies. The Empress is very nurturing. So there is a need to, I shouldn't say need. It would be very, very beneficial for you to do some self-nurturing, self-love, self-care, self-support. Grounding, getting very grounded. The Empress is also very grounded. Oh, look, I didn't even see that was there. Okay. All right, so out came chance, taking a chance. Take a chance. Take a leap. Divine protection is always by our side. Now, this does not mean that it will be easy. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be uncomfortable for a while, but you know, we're not, if we're going to create, bottom line, if you want to have something be different, then you have to do something different. You have to create change. Take a chance. Try do something different and see what happens. See how it shifts things for you. Dance. When we ask for guidance, take action. So take a chance, take action, and put our faith in an outcome we can't yet see. We have begun to dance with grace. I would also say for some too that dance, movement, exercise, socializing, getting out, doing something will help you raise your frequency and your vibration. And it's so weird because not the same cards, but the same message about dance, movement, socializing, getting out there, exercise, that came through in another reading that I just did recently. And here we go. We have love. Share your heart. To love another is the ultimate expression of grace. But here's what I'm going to say, what I'm actually getting from this card. If you look at this card, this heart is broken. It's turned to stone. It's on an island by itself, basically. It's on this hunk of rock by itself, separate from this body of land. And the water flow of emotion is just bypassing it. I do feel like that whatever this is talking about for you, you know, I'm sorry guys, it does feel like there's an unhealthy relationship that you may want to look at, to change, to shift, to do something different, to allow yourself to have a different outcome, to find your happiness, to find your joy, your passion. Trusting in the divine timing, trusting in your innocence, and honoring your innocence and your vulnerability by ensuring that that which you are around is a vibrational match or higher for you. Yeah, see, you don't want this energy anymore. See, to me, this is the energy that's just running around. It's like running amok. It's just what I heard, running amok. Tell me more. Why is the devil here? I'll do more in a minute. I just want to get a few more. Why is the devil here? Why is the devil here? Yep. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So we have this King of Wands. Okay. This is somebody who can be very passionate, very impulsive, very exciting. Somebody who can be very good looking. But look at what has come with this. We have the Six of Wands in reverse, meaning the success and victory is in reverse, meaning it's not happening. And we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Now, when the Queen of Swords is in her power, she is, she's intelligent, she's decisive, she's very clear-headed. She can have her hand out and open and, you know, offering her love, offering her heart, her friendship, her wisdom. But she is also has her sword up because she's very vigilant. She's very protective of herself because she knows her self-worth. Because this victory and the Queen of Swords is in reverse, I would say that whatever this King of Wands represents for you, I believe that that's what this heartache is about, and this codependent relationship or environment or situation or job or whatever it is. And it has a very low energy to it. And I do see that, you know, moving on to calmer waters is on the bottom of the deck here. This is, it's available to you. But it, you know, again, it comes to this choice or decision. But it does feel like there's a lot of quarreling happening. And it feels like one or both parties or team or whatever it is doesn't want to buck convention, doesn't want to rock the boat, doesn't want to stand out and be that person that that changes it. What else? Oh, okay. What else? And you know, guys, I do want to say too, this is definitely not about beating yourself up and oh my goodness, you are so not alone, because you know, Hadarian energy, a Hadarian collective, we frequently have found ourselves in codependency, in misalignment and all of that. And that's, you know, goes back to our histories, and it just kind of, if it wasn't cleaned up and cleared then at the time, then of course there's more just gets added onto it with each lifetime. So the bottom line is don't beat yourself up over it. It's not about judging yourself. It's about awareness. And once the awareness is there and it's brought to your consciousness, well, now it's, you know, now it's up to you to decide, what are you going to do with that? You know, are you going to acknowledge it and say, okay, what do I do with this? And how do I move forward and begin to explore? Or are you going to pretend you don't know it? Because that's still a decision. Are you going to choose to do nothing and just stay in it? That is a decision. None of this is judging you. I'm just saying, no matter what we do or don't do, it is still a decision. It's still a choice. We do have unique gifts on the bottom of the deck. We have Starseed Elemental. So some of you, not all of you, some of you are very, very earthy, which again, we talked about with the Empress. Some of you are very, very earthy. Others of you are very air-like. I mean, you know, water, it just, we're all different. Oh, wow. See, okay. We've got Mount Shasta here. Now, this is an interesting thing here for me because I did a reading for somebody and the Mount Shasta card came out. And when I held it up and I was doing the reading and I held it up and she saw it, I mean, she just, it was too much for her. There was something very, it didn't feel good. And it can feel overwhelming, like there's so many messages and like there's so much happening energetically speaking. you know, I feel like it's almost like it's saying, you know, as you're going through this process, ensure that you do what you can to make sure you stay very, very grounded to the core and heart of Mother Gaia. For those of you who work with elementals, you may want to, you know, do that, as well as being connected to, you know, God, source, spirit, universe, utmost high, whatever that is for you. But there's also something very cosmic. I just heard it puts, you know, being in this energy, and it has your personal grid system gone awry, is what I heard. Your personal grid system has gone awry, and it's not that, it's just about getting yourself balanced again, really is about what it comes down to. What else do we have? Okay, we got this King of Wands again. What about the King of Wands? What else can you tell us about the King of Wands? King and Queen of Wands. Okay, let's get some more. Ten of Cups. Heartbreak. Oh. Defensive energy. New direction. Yep. Loss. Leap of faith. Right? And one of these cards we already talked about, taking a leap. Right here, chance, taking a leap. So we have the King and Queen of Wands. We saw the King over here. But, you know, again, these can be divine counterparts. And, you know, don't shoot the messenger, guys. I'm only telling you what I'm getting. A lot of people will say divine counterparts are my soulmate. That means we're supposed to be together forever. That means that I need to stay because this is my person. You do you. You do you, no judging, you know, not telling you what to do. I am only relaying what I'm getting. We can have somebody who is our soulmate, somebody who is a really great match for us. However, we are all human. We are all spiritual, spiritual beings having a human experience. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to screw up. We get the option and the choice to course correct or not, or stay the same, or make it worse, or make it better, or anything in between and all around, and things we haven't even thought of, right? We can think that, oh man, we have it all. We were just so happy. I can't give up on that. I can't let go of that. I understand that this happened, whatever this is. To me, this often speaks of betrayal. Speaks of third-party situations. It doesn't have to. It can look like many other kind of betrayals other than someone cheating. But it has caused a great deal. And again, here we have quarreling, right? But not wanting to buck convention. I want my independence, but I don't, you know, because then I have to be out there on my own. But there's this, it's just this hostile animosity, anger environment. And there's here, this person is standing here with the Two of Wands, but not touching either one of them. He's looking at them. He's looking at them. He's debating them. He's like, okay, do I go this way? Do I go that way? You know, do I go down the middle? Do I turn around and go back the way I came? What do I do here? That's what is over here, right? Next to this Judgment card and this Moving On card. Here we see that there was a decision and a choice. This weighted wand that is heavier. This one has a weight. This one does not. This one has been chosen to be left behind. His back is turned. He's chosen his direction. his new direction. He's got the world. The world is an oyster that is in his hands. Now, it's going to stay just sitting in his hands unless he takes a chance, unless he takes a leap of faith, and he decides to put action with that. I'm saying he just because that is what is depicted in the picture. Again, don't get caught up on genders. It is just what it is, okay? I feel like this is saying that, yeah, once you've made this choice and decision and you move on, that's when your victory is going to come. And yes, there is sadness. Yes, there is loss. Yes, there are things that are going to need to be processed so you can release them and heal from them and let them go. But you also have 2 new opportunities right here. But it does take a leap of faith. It does, and not just a leap of faith, but it takes doing the work so that you're leaving behind what needs to be left behind. And when you're going forward, you just have this with you. You're not bringing, tons of pain and hurt and mourning and grief and all the heaviness with you. Look at the difference in that, right? I mean, even in the dress of how they're dressed. And again, no one's saying it's easy. No one's saying that it just happens. It is a process. It does take time. Yeah, but by allowing yourself to go through this process, you are bringing in the opportunity for peace. Peace within, peaceful mind, peaceful heart. You to allow yourself to work through that stuff. But it does require that you take a risk. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit that. It does require that you take a risk of some sort. Take that chance, take that leap. Whatever that looks like for you. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to leave this here for now. I may come in later and do we're going to leave it here for now because I feel like there's too many directions for this because it feels very large for the collective as a whole. All right. I'm going to do really, really quick some release work here. If you are not interested in receiving that, now is the time that you will want to click off. We thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate you, and we hope you join us again another time, or that you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time, bye. For those of you who are choosing to stay, again, you know the drill, most of you, unless this is new for you, I would suggest preparing your space for yourself. So you may want to pause this and get yourself situated. I will say though, again, I have animals here that aren't mine. And that, one is very, very reactive. So, be prepared for that because he may just begin barking frantically if he hears a delivery or a neighbor come home or something along those lines. Personally, yes, it can be very jarring, but at the same time, to me, normal everyday life, it is beneficial for us to learn how to function in our work, our clearing, our healing, our light, and doing whatever we're doing, even with loud interruptions and distractions, because there's going to be a lot of distractions that come along the way in life, right? So with all that said, if you want to pause, get yourself situated, make sure you're either sitting down or laying down, but wherever you're sitting, that you are not in danger of, if you fall asleep, falling forward and face planting on something hard or falling out of a chair and hitting your head or anything. We don't want you to do that. But this is going to be very quick and very brief, okay? So it's not going to be a real long, drawn out one. So yeah, pause, and when you're ready, you can come back. Okay. So for those of you who are staying for this portion, I thank you so much. And I ask that you just take a few deep breaths. We're going to breathe in through the nose, pause, and out through the mouth. In to the count of 4, pause, and out to the count of 4. Utmost high of all that is, I ask that you run the ground and connect now. Thank you. Just really allowing yourself to get totally grounded to the core and the heart of Mother Gaia. Receiving that very safe, grounded, healing, protective energy of Mother Gaia. Continue to breathe and relax. And feel that connection going straight up into the eye and heart of utmost high of all that is. God, source, creator, universe, whatever that is for you. Fully and completely loved, protected, accepted, held, safe, cleansed. Continue to breathe. Utmost high of all that is. For our Hadarian collective, utmost high, you know exactly what each one of us needs in our own little nuances, as well as us as a collective, as a whole, or in groupings. Collectives within the collective, if you will. We ask that you neutralize, dissolve, release, and clear those non-serving beliefs, non-serving perceptions, those non-serving things that we've internalized or that we have picked up that aren't even ours. Releasing all of it now. Thank you. Imbue and infuse all of this freed up space with your light, love, health, healing, balance, alignment, and harmony now. Thank you. Bringing in truth, accuracy, wisdom, knowledge. Clearing out whatever gets in the way of us being truly connected with our true core heart center of ourselves and our higher self, soul self. And then ensuring that that connection or those connections with our true inner self, our higher self, our soul self, with you, with Mother Gaia, are clean, they're clear, they're healthy, they're strong, and they're vibrant. Upgrading, updating, and up-leveling us, our cells, our cell memory, our molecular structures, our DNA, our beliefs, our perceptions, our emotions, to being that which is healthy, balanced, and aligned. This looks different for each of us. And yet we share nuances along the way as a collective. Bringing in that beautiful, beautiful, unconditional love for ourselves. Clearing out what gets in the way of these things and bringing in what we are desiring. That unconditional self-love, self-support, self-alignment, self-care, self-acceptance and receiving. Joy of the self, love of the self. Elevating to healthy, balanced, and aligned levels, vibrations, and frequencies of our self-worth. Continue to breathe. Most high of all that is, make all of this so now. Thank you. Take a few more deep breaths into the count of 4. Pause and exhale to the count of 4. Very gently, but very, very clearly and very firmly coming all the way back. Fully embodied, fully aware, fully present. Most high of all that is, make it also now. Thank you. Whenever you're ready, you can continue to lay there and relax, sit there and relax, or you can open your eyes and go on about your day or your night. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, because this really does help the channel, which helps us to get this out to more people and help our collective. Until next time, guys. Bye.